Good morning, folks, and welcome to another QuantWheel Live for July 17th, or sorry, July 16th. Today, I'm gonna show you some of the updates that we made to QuantWheel last night and go through the market. I think 15 minutes each section. So if you're here, welcome. Apologies for the last stream. It was a technical error where there was no sound. So we're going to repeat this in case you watched the previous one, and I'll go straight into it. Let me just quickly share the live stream in our Discord. And by the way, thank you all for great suggestions in the Discord. There are some new updates still on the way from your suggestions. All right, this is coming live. I think Luca is going to be sharing the live stream. He might be joining today or not. He's not feeling the best. All right, let's get into the updates. So today memory, I think, is super interesting to me. Later we'll go through the levels, but I do think there's a potential reversal and further downside in it. So I've created some of the filters for my watch list, expecting great deals in case this actually happens, and I want to get alerted for it. As you can see right now, there is no deals, which is expected, but what I want to show you is that you can now create an alert for it and specify a watch list for that alert. Previously, all alerts were working for all of the stocks, so if this happened for anything, let's say all of the US equities, not just memory, you would get alerted. So this way now we can scope down the universe of tickers you're interested in. I think this is a small but very powerful change that is going to help you out. Next, we do, about we're getting questions about the VEX heat map. This is in the works. This is in the heat map changes are coming very soon. We did design the new stuff, but we need to test it out and release it soon. Keep the questions coming, please. Discord, YouTube chat. We'll try to explain them as soon as possible. Next, a very exciting update for me personally is the QuantWheel Intelligence update. You can see that there's a new design for it as well, but it's became a lot more powerful as well. So I can ask it to analyze some of the stocks. For example, I like NVDA, and in your trial, it's going to prompt you to create one of the prompts for your favorite stock. It's going to analyze this for you. So this is all pre-populated template that I personally like to use. And you now see you can save this prompt as a recurring job. So let's say you want to analyze gamma exposure for your 3 favorite tickers and get an update in your email every single morning. You can do that now. Or you want QuantWheel Intelligence to analyze your portfolio and suggest the next steps. Also very easy right now. What's even more powerful is if you like the particular widget, and we'll fix this alignment, don't worry about that. You can just save this as a component or add it to a dashboard. So right now, all the dashboards are in beta preview as customizable dashboards. We'll go through this slightly later. Before we dive into that, we can show you just that jobs can be managed here, right below QuantWheel Intelligence. You will get few predefined ones that you can enable or disable or create more of the jobs. I personally like to see dealer positioning changes. So instead of me going through GEX every single day for all of my positions, I'll just get an email and see that right in my inbox every single morning. There is a limit right now for 3 jobs per user, just a temporal limitation while we are in beta to make sure we can scale for all the users appropriately. So other thing you can see here is this new simplified credit reward system. In case you like the product, you have friends who you think might like it, and you share QuantWheel with them. It's a very simple process right now. You just get your link, share it. In case they also like it and become a customer, they get credit as well. So $5 on monthly and 25 on yearly subscriptions, and you can stack it out. So you can basically get a subscription for free if you have a lot of friends. I think that's a caveat here. And then next we spoke about journal. Yes, so journal, you can enable it here in the studio mode, and it's completely customizable. So we have all the infrastructure level things that we need for every single journal dashboard. So account picker, date time, and on this side, you can build more components if you need them with QuantWheel Intelligence. You can just ask it straight up here what else, whatever you wanted to analyze and give suggestions. But you can also save those prompts and put it straight into your dashboard. So for example, I have a review of the wheels and next step suggestions as a widget. So you can create your own prompts and create a dashboard from it. There's obviously some pre-built components here in the component library. This is basically everything you can see in QuantWheel made as a component. There's, I think, 50 or more of them, from the PNL side to all the GEX levels, heat map, Vana, charm, calendars, activities, wheels. You can create just a dashboard for 5 of your favorite wheels and have it there. Honestly, there is no limitations to your creativity here. And yeah, Journal Insight is this component that I'm using, and you can customize the prompt for yourself. Let us know what you come up with. I think we do expect a lot of creativity, and we might enable also you to share your own dashboards with others or share components with them. All right, that's kind of most of the exciting updates. We did get a report that some users get a connect more broker prompt here in the wheel section, and we'll work through that as soon as possible. Let us know if you're stuck there, but I think if you do get it and you're stuck and you already connected your broker, you can just create a demo portfolio and that will unblock you. Anything else? Yes, a huge update as well is scale up of the flows. So right now, previously we had flows for only SPI and SPX, and now you can get flows for 13 tickers. There is, let's say, if you're interested in Microsoft, you can check Microsoft flows. This is still in alpha, so basically alpha is select users that are in our test group, get access to the early features, and then beta is when everyone still can use the features, but they could break in some situations, and we are just making sure to get through those before going GA. This is going to go into beta and released soon. I think we're targeting the release for the next week, so stay tuned. I'll be looking at some of displays, flows, making sure that they're all correct and that they match the price action. I think right now this looks very promising. We've pushed the last version last night, so this is all the new version for Microsoft. I think I've seen some whale action going on in NVIDIA. Very, very interesting flow action here. You can see a whale first selling calls and then buying more calls in a bigger fashion, basically putting in more delta pressure. The price did rally slightly towards a higher level, but it couldn't sustain it. So we just need to make sure that we also take a look at the GEX. Perhaps there was a call wall here and the price couldn't get through it. So very interesting price action here. We see both calls getting up in the premiums and puts putting lower pressure on the premiums. That's why the price did go slightly down. So basically net pressure is still downwards. But as you can see here on the day, the 0DTE, I believe there was this kind of slight pressure in the options flows towards downside does not match the huge downside in the price action. So it's going to be interesting to see if perhaps flows can reverse it. I think that will be my very, very short-term bet for 0DTE, just purely based on the flows. I obviously, before making any trade, we look at flows, KEX, VANA, and CHARM. And if you're wondering how to use this, don't worry, we have videos explaining practical examples and technical details of how this all works coming soon. We've filmed some of them already and are in the editing stage. So if you want to get the raw version, just let me know and we'll hook you up. So this is all on the updates that we have to share right now in the product. This is not everything. There is still many things going on in the workshop, such as a new leaderboard system. I think you might have seen it in the Discord. And as you mentioned, heat map. There's a lot of love for heat map in the community, and we are improving it. Basically, we are missing VANA and CHARM heat maps and the daily change for every single level. I think that's going to be a game changer. I love the suggestions, and it's going to help me in my day trading as well. All right, I think this is all for the flows. Next up, I would like to share my trading view and QuantWheel GEX bridge. So I will need to reshare my whole screen and we'll just get this out right now. Let's do an entire screen. Probably we can move towards this kind of view and get my trading view up with a GEX bridge. There are flows also coming to the GEX bridge now that we have 13 tickers live. And I'm super excited to show you that as well on the next live stream. Yes, today's story for me is, as you can see in the Discord memory, I was looking at MU. Oh, this is interesting. While we are on live stream, ASTS, huge outflows. This is just, yeah, this is an amazing downturn. Wow. And we're approaching the 55 level. So this could be an interesting bounce here on the ASTS. Just a quick note, if you're using this, what I like to do personally in the expirations, select the closest expiration, the first weekly, the first monthly, and the next kind of non-weekly expiration. I believe this is August 21st. And yeah, we can also try to mark these So you don't have to think about it or guess what's going on. Very, very interesting price action in ASTS. I think there could be some interesting trades here. We are in a very, very negative gamma zone, but this level is huge. So we'll have to monitor whether it survives or it just accelerates the price action. I would also look at VANA and Charm for ASTS, particularly VANA, just because we have a very high volatility. And if we go through VANA zones with high volatility, it can just accelerate the price action. That's going to be an interesting one. All right, going to the memory. The thing I want to show here is MU, and I think other stocks have a very similar pattern. I've shared in the Discord yesterday before this huge drop that there is a potential of breaking this kind of head and shoulders pattern, and we did get an alert over the night. Sometimes when we kind of climb back up to retest it and fail, this means further downside. And as you can see, the potential downside is huge. I usually look at the target just as a regular classic head and shoulders, measure the top to the headline and apply it here. This brings me to like 500s level. Obviously, MU is a very popular stock. There could be a lot of buying pressure. This is not a guaranteed, and nothing here is a financial advice, but this is just the reason that I initially showed you how to set up an alert if a good cash secure put opportunity comes through. If it does and I do enter, I also will share with the Discord community. Our Discord is completely free, by the way. We don't sell any signals. We just want to help out and create the community to share their ideas and trades. Yeah, and then the put wall is obviously in the huge gamma. In the puts is concentrated about 800 levels for these expirations. Very interesting play here. I will be looking at MU for potential long puts on the short term, and then if it continues dropping, for actual cash seeker puts. So it's a very good company. I think earnings are coming through soon, and like looking at Samsung earnings could be potentially huge. We see a sea of red here, and I saw some news about the Chinese competitor releasing some new chips. That might be the narrative, but I do need to go through the narrative a bit more to understand what is actually going on. Peng, if you like this stock approaching a huge put wall, this could be your entry, and we are in positive gamma. So very interesting play potentially here. We know that in positive gamma, put walls can act as a strong support. So if you like Peng, I would consider cash secure put here, or given the volatility in the memory space, maybe even a credit spread 65-60. If you're not sure, you can ask QuantWheel Intelligence what does it think, and can share some of the ideas, not trade advices, but it sometimes gives great ideas for me to analyze. Just scanning through here, SK Hynix, very interesting stock. I was very pumped for it coming to the US users, and seems like we are filling this gap that occurred after the first day of trading, and GEX showing us that we are in a very negative gamma with potential downside and a huge put wall 145. I do like the stock. Again, same story. I am interested in cash secure puts, and will probably be aggressive if there is a huge volatility coming through. SMH is an ETF for all of this. Similar structure. similar potential for this head and shoulders to trigger. This is not like a guarantee. We're not predicting here. We're just saying if it does trigger, there could be very, very interesting price action going forward. We are below this 200 daily moving average. We were not able to reclaim it, so this is technically bearish. I do sometimes like to see the Ichimoku cloud. Sorry, this was not 200. This is on the daily, and we are kind of now entering a cloud. This just basically means this is a territory of the decision making, uh, getting into the uncertainty zone. So previously, all the drops held above it, but today is the first kind of day that we might actually close inside of the cloud. That just basically means, hey, we are entering an uncertain area. If you would see this forward cloud becoming red, currently it's green, that would mean like an additional signal that potential downside is coming through. If you do like semis, you believe in it, there is also Soxel that I've been trading in the past a lot. Okay, this one did kind of cross into the red zone, but I personally like it because it has amazing premiums for cash secure puts basically all year round. And people forget, like this has been trading around $9. I remember last year. Yeah, okay, even to sevens and eights in the last year in April. I've been selling cash secure puts here, and I think there was a huge panic. What's going to happen with SOXL and then semis, and then we went from $7 or $8 to 300. This is a 3 times leveraged semiconductor ETF, so obviously it can be highly volatile. So just be careful here. What I do like is if this does break and we do see an acceleration of the downside action, cash secure puts become very, very attractive to me. You can get them great deals for like even $20 strike price or $40 strike price. You can find great deals usually in Soxel. They're not gonna make you rich overnight, the cash secure puts, but it's in my opinion very interesting strategy that I personally like. Okay, this one is already kind of breaking the trend line, but again, this is just an 3x leveraged ETF, and SMH is the actual one we should be looking at for the levels and price action. What else is of interest here? Figma. This is a trend line that actually was hit. I think it was a very, very easy play. A trend line plus a call wall in the positive gamma. This was just a classic textbook, super, super easy entry. And you can see here could have made you some very interesting profits. That's exactly why I like to just use my local desktop trading view with QuantWheel. Just gives me all the levels without having to even look into it and switch the context between multiple pages. All right, I think UNH had earnings. All right, that's a very interesting price action here. We see positive earnings on the UNH, but then the price is dropping down. I do like, in general, the healthcare section. It's historically a very, very basically a sector that Wall Street likes to rotate into in the times of uncertainty and recessions. So if you believe you're heading into the volatile area, this could be some of the safe haven stocks. So yeah, this will be interesting to analyze what is happening with UNH, but the price, coming back to the call wall, I would personally look at the Bana and Charm to see what's going on there, if there is a potential of reacceleration, and if we are above the Charm zone, maybe we can just see a slow drift up, kind of post volatility crash. This could be an interesting play to see if UNH might be interesting buy here. All right, just quickly going through this. We've been at this live stream for quite some time. Let me know if you found any interesting stuff. If you have any questions, it's always welcome in Discord or later in the YouTube as you're watching this live stream. One of the interesting things is also Hecla mining. It's been just constantly touching this 200-day moving average, but never breaking and kind of containing above this trend line. And now it's in this decision time. Very, very interesting stock. Yes, if I had to guess, potentially here might be a good straddle play, basically buying calls and puts either at the money or out of money, because the volatility has been squeezing. We are at the key levels. There is not much time before the daily moving average and the trend line collapse. We are also in between the call wall and put wall. So yeah, there could be some more time of like indecision here, coiling, but this is shaping up to be an explosive move in either direction. It's going to depend probably on the gold, but a very interesting stock to watch, Hecla mining. As you can see, it had a huge swing, more than 50% drop. Very, very gold dependent and high beta on the gold. NVIDIA is a very interesting one. I wanted to share a day trade, or actually a swing trade. I did this. I entered last week, I think, and exit yesterday or the day before. I've seen this kind of a double bottom, the break of structure above the previous kind of lows and highs above this point. So here we broke up below that and then held the same level. So yeah, here I was entering calls, and then the next day we've seen huge upwards move. This is usually how it happens. This is a classic textbook play for entering long short-term calls. This is not like a long-term play, just a short-term structure play. I think I was slightly greedy here and then went back down and back up, and then yesterday I made an exit for a nice 100% profit on NVIDIA. In these levels, I currently am not 100% sure what is going on. I think this requires more in-depth analysis. But it's going to be interesting to watch whether we can break above this call wall. That will be very, very bullish. If we can, I think we have more potential for an upside. But yeah, it's not just NVIDIA. I think it depends on the rest of the memory market that's right now hurting a lot. It's all connected and all affecting each other. As you saw, probably IBM came out with, the wrong IBM, with a huge sell-off, saying people are just spending money on AI and hardware, GPUs. and not software. So everything software dropped at the same time, even though it's completely unrelated to IBM. These are some of the opportunities, I think, to find overreactions in the market. All right. Previously, we've seen also my trades for Hesai and KWeb that I shared in my in the Discord, multiple communities that we are a part of, and this 15 put wall is still holding very, very strong. There was a potential to exit here. It was probably the right time to do so, but I think I took some profits on the upturn. But then when we touched the put wall again, I just sold more 12.5 puts. I think it's a good company. And then we saw another bounce. I think I closed more of the profits and still holding some of the longer terms $10 puts, I think, for December or early next year. I think premiums are good. And if it really does drop to that level, it becomes a great buy. So very low risk play for me. That's why I shared it with the community. I'm only sharing high conviction plays, even though I do some of the crazy day trading like NVDA where I target 100% gains. I just don't want you to blindly follow anything in the chat. KWeb also was bleeding through some of the levels, but it was a great buy, and then it recovered. So no panic, just holding to your guns as usual, just keeping your strategy. I did say at the entry that I'm happy to just buy those shares at 25 level. That's why I shared also the trade, because we do have a dividend coming in December. So in case you do get assigned on your cash secure puts on KVAB, there's a very nice dividend of almost 8% waiting for you in December, and you can just continue wheeling this stock. The lowest of lows in history were around 15, so this is not something you cannot make up for with selling premium. Now is an interesting level. We are in a positive gamma, but touching the put wall and the call wall at the same time. So obviously we see a slight touch here, getting into minor red, but a very interesting level to watch. Again, if we can break this, could be very good times for us ahead. I'm already holding leaps on KWeb, so not overextending, but in case we do see more of a drop, I might sell more cash secure puts. All right, I think I'll need to grab some water. It's been a lot of talking. Hopefully you like the changes, and I'll go back to fixing stuff that you shared with me in email, Discord, and chat. So thank you for watching. See you next